When the disciples jump out of the boat and follow Jesus without hesitation, it's not because they're being dumb. It's that they are convinced that despite my questions, despite my doubts, despite my reservations, the one who is calling me is smarter than me, more powerful than me, holier than me, and he's looking out for me in ways that I don't even look out for myself. And because of that, Jesus is not just my advisor that assists me in my life. He is my king who orders it. Now do you see why the disciples jumped out of the boat? Are we ready to follow Jesus like that without hesitation? There's a passage later on in the Gospels where some of the same disciples that we're reading about in our passage today, they find themselves in a disagreement with Jesus. Jesus had just finished teaching some things that were hard to understand. People didn't like them. They were difficult truths that were hard to hear. So people disagreed with him. It says this: when many of his disciples heard it, they said, "This is a hard saying. Who can listen to it?" And because of this, after many of his disciples heard this, they turned back and no longer walked with Jesus. So Jesus said to the 12, "Do you want to go away as well?" And then Simon Peter, the same Simon Peter that we're reading about in the Follow Me passage, Peter says this. Peter answered, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life, and we have believed and have come to know that you are the Holy One of God." Notice how Peter does not reference what Jesus had talked about at all. Instead, Peter just starts talking about who Jesus is. He says, "To whom should we go? You have the words of life. You are the Holy One of God." Peter's saying, we disagree. But because of who you are, I'm still here. With no delay, with no hesitation, with no negotiation. Not because those things don't exist within Peter, but because even when they do exist, he says, because of who you are, I still will follow. Jesus calls every one of us to follow him. And how we respond to that call is going to be directly connected to how we see who Jesus really is.